Hey guys, welcome to Doc Lucky's Yo-Yo Talk, where I talk about yo-yos, the history, collecting, auctions, world records, tournaments. If it has to do with yo-yos, we'll be talking about it. And I encourage you all to please comment, let folks know you're out there and you're watching, and fill in when I make mistakes and errors and fill in the gaps. We are filming this every Thursday at 7 p.m. live. And I think, and I believe you all believe, it is time for another yo-yo craze. And the only way that's going to happen is if the true believers, like you guys that are watching right now, will fan the flames of the fire and get this going. So let everybody know. Please post this and let other folks know that this is happening Thursdays at 7. Now, we have an interesting subject tonight. It's yo-yos and zombie hunting. But first, let me speak of the prize offering near the end of the show. We'll be having our pop quiz, and it was great last week. We had a super nice prize offering. It was one question last week. This week, it's 2 questions. So it's whoever answers the 2 questions correctly in one comment box. You can't do 2 different comments to get it. You have to get them both in the same comment box. Now, the first question, you'll be getting a hint throughout the show of what the answer will be. If you listen carefully, you'll know what the answer is for the first question. Second question is a little more random, a little luck involved in getting it, unless you happen to know the exact answer. And more power to you if you do, because you'll certainly come off the winner. So before we get any more into the show, let's take a look at this huge prize package. So we've got a really cool prize package here for the end of the show, pop quiz, where one person will win it all. And I just want to remind everybody that I will give a hint on question number 1 throughout the show, so you better be listening. So don't turn us off in the middle of the show. We've got a couple of tops there, Wood Duncan Whistler, Sir Duncan. Those are really nice tops. The Whistler goes usually in about the mid-20s. The top usually pretty stable at about $12 on eBay. If you happen to be a top collector and not a yo-yo collector, this is pretty fine stuff. Of course, yo-yo collectors are much higher in the food chain than top collectors, but top collectors are well above people that collect naval lint, so you do have that going for you. It is a zombie-related show, so we've got a complete series of the zombie cause character yo-yos, Headshots, Silent Blade, Doc Ruger, Pappy 5X, and Zombie Boy. And you will get a signed copy with all the cast members of the Zombie Cause Dictionary. Very few of those books floating around. And I think you all know already, but yo-yo players make the best zombie hunters. Very nice Black Mamba here. This is the 5-star Black Mamba. These have been recently selling for about $20, $22 loose. I haven't seen them in the package in a while, so no telling what this would go in the package. A very nice yo-yo. Again, this is the 5-star, not the 3-star Black Mamba. This is about 20 years old. Very cool item here. A Omega Raider. It's the THP, Team High for Performance. This is out of Honolulu. This is the limited Maui edition. I've never seen this on sale yet on eBay. One that's not the limited edition sold recently for about $40 in the box. I suspect this is go more. I'm not sure what the Maui edition is, other than just being a sticker on it, but you'll let me know, I'm sure, in the comment sections. Here we've got the barrel yo-yo from The Nightmare Before Christmas. As you all know, the characters in that movie were all zombies. I threw in a Sally doll just for fun. The internet says Barrel was killed by drowning and the Sally doll was dismembered. This, of course, was animated. It's not like a documentary film like Night of the Living Dead or The Walking Dead. Oh, here's a really old yo-yo. Talk about the zombie candy. This candy's almost 25 years old. Still good. Once you get this prize package, try it out and let me know how it tastes. Nice BC yo-yo here, cross skull with the flames. Stinger yo-yo, you see these occasionally pop up. These actually consistently sell for about $20 on eBay. I don't know why. other than the fact that they're not making them anymore. I guess the animal rights activists have an issue with it. Here's a couple of yo-yo blanks from the Duncan Yo-Yo factory. These are original Duncan blanks. They haven't been stamped, but they're great to have in your collection to show folks how the original yo-yos were, and they're great for carving. So I threw in a couple of those, kind of a neat item to have in your collection. Right below this, we've got a Kusan twin twirler. This is very cool. This is the Flying Eagle model. There were 3 different models. There was the Bat and the Falcon. These usually sell for about $30, $45. Mint in package. This one's loose, but pretty much mint because it just fell out of a package that deteriorated. So the yo-yo's never been thrown. I've got a Doc Lucky yo-yo. You got to have one of those. You can only earn them. That's a non-responsive yo-yo and a pretty good throw, actually. So very nice Duncan Tournament cross flags, mint in package, in a nice rarer color. The pink is always a nice one to have. This is a Lucky's yo-yo size and shape guide. That was from '95 before the book. And there's the book, Lucky's Collector's Guide to 20th Century Yo-Yos. We'll get you a nice signed copy of that. Hopefully you don't already, well, actually, hopefully you have one. And this thing, this is my nemesis. This is the Cabbage Patch girl that's playing a yo-yo. Very, very freaky. It freaks me out. She's always there. I put her in a drawer. She reappears. I put her in a box. She reappears. I can't get rid of her. So she's now part of the prize package. She becomes your problem, not my problem. So hey, good luck to whoever wins this great prize package. And now let's do a little addition and see what the total value of this package is. Wow, $448. That's something to be looking forward to at the end of the show. Pay attention because we'll have at least one hint to one of the questions. Why is that freaky thing still on the monitor?
Okay, well, I think that prize package is certainly show watch worthy at $448. So keep on watching, and hopefully you'll get a chance at the end of the show to have that package sent to you. A couple of shout outs. I noticed we got some famous yo-yoers out there: Chuck Short, Joe Mitchell, the one and only Mark McBride, one of the fathers of modern yo-yoing. Thanks, guys, for watching. Please put in comments for some of the newbies. A little bit of house cleaning here. I just want to mention that Nationals in June in Arizona have been canceled. The Northeast Regional Championships, which were to be held on May 23rd, obviously, they're being canceled. And this really sucks. It's bad for yo-yoing, but at least with yo-yoing, everybody can still do it at home. It's not like playing underwater hockey or swimming. So we do have that advantage. And it's all due to COVID-19, or maybe it's something else. And that brings us to our subject of the evening, which is yo-yos and its association with zombie hunting.
Tonight's episode of Doc Lucky's Yo-Yo Talk, we're going to talk about the very critical connection between zombie hunting and yo-yos. And you all probably have heard this before, but now there are probably some people that are quibs watching right now. A quib is somebody that doesn't believe in zombies. You can go out in the hallway right now and sit with the flatworms and the sea slugs of lower IQ and let the adults talk here. So it's critical to know, number one, that this connection with yo-yos and zombie hunting, and I will say this, with the COVID-19 going on, we kind of all know what's really going on. China says 6,400 deaths, but we know it's like 60, 70, 80,000 deaths.
Join us.
Why the discrepancy? Zombies. This is just a giant cover-up for the necropolis, and don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Now, I'm getting my information largely on this connection from Doc Ruger, who's a very famous zombie hunter. Doc Ruger, I've never personally met, but I have this very eerie connection with him. And he believes that the best zombie hunters have good throwing yo-yo skills. So this is the connection. And Doctor, this goes back to the Zombie Hill horde attack of 1981. Doc Ruker became an Omega then. And Omega is somebody that survives of a pod where everybody else dies in a horde attack. He was a sole survivor. He shot through his ammo, and the only thing he had left was his yo-yo. And he survived because of that yo-yo. And I will tell you, from that point on, he was a firm believer that yo-yo skills were important for zombie hunting. And I can't emphasize that most. Now, and this is very, very important what I'm going to say next. The only way to kill a zombie with a yo-yo is by a headshot. And I'm not referring to headshot of the zombie cause pod, whose favorite weapons are Betty and Veronica, his handguns and his girlfriends. But I'm referring to a headshot where the yo-yo strikes the zombie in the head and breaks up that nanotubular network, and thereby making the zombie re-dead. Now, you can decapitate if you have a saw-bladed yo-yo, but a decapitation is a subset of headshot. So I wanted to make that perfectly clear. Now, the best range just happens to be at the edge of the grab zone of a zombie. Now, short zombies will have a shorter grab zone, but the grab zone is about 6 feet. Coincidence to social distancing? I don't think so. We all know what's going on here. Now, the yo-yo doesn't have a great kill power rating overall. Its close range is mid-level. Its melee range is mid-level. Its long-distance kill range is almost 0. It's similar to a chainsaw. A chainsaw, though, has a great close-distance kill range. It has a great melee kill zone. Long distance, not very good. So if you had a choice between a chainsaw and a yo-yo, I would probably pick a chainsaw, unless perhaps you're Doc Ruger and really know how to use a yo-yo. Now, of course, all yo-yos are not equal. Some yo-yos are heavier than others. Of course, a metallic rim on the yo-yo is a benefit. Of course, the saw blade yo-yos are the best yo-yos out there. But there's not many of them to go around. The key to re-killing a zombie with a yo-yo is breaking up that nanotubular network, whether it's a small yo-yo or a saw blade yo-yo. And Doc Ruger will always tell you, having a saw blade yo-yo is like having a chainsaw that doesn't need to be refilled with gas.
Okay, this is one of the favorite parts of my show now, where we go in to the hot auctions of the week. Now, these auctions, it may be because it's a high-end model, it may be because it's just something that's interesting to me, or maybe it's just a really great price. Just what I feel. I pull 2 or 3 of these out. I think we all ought to be looking at them. So let's go to hot auctions of the week.
Doc Lucky's Flaming Hot Auction Picks of the Week.
Okay, we're going to start with my hot auction of the week, number 3.
Number 3, Hot Pick of the Week.
Now, this little gem is a McDonald's yo-yo. That's the restaurant chain. It's right now on auction for $12.50. There are lots of McDonald's yo-yos out there, at least a couple dozen different variations. It's a cool subset to collect. And to me, this is the holy grail of McDonald's yo-yos. This is the white and red wooden McDonald's yo-yo that was released in the 60s. Almost all the other ones are made of plastic, and some of them actually sell for higher prices than this one, just because I don't think people realize what this yo-yo is. So this is a hot pick now that you guys know what it is. This is really bragging rights for having a McDonald's yo-yo. I've only seen this up for sale for a few times on eBay. So this is why it's my hot pick number 3 this week. And we'll go to Hot Pick.
Number 2, hot pick of the week.
And you already got a little flash surprise of this one. It's a Flores Tournament jeweled yo-yo. This was made in the 50s. It's got an opening bid right now of $70. This is not a paint, it's a natural wood with a varnish finish. I've always said, if you don't have a Flores in your collection, you're not really a Jedi yo-yo collector. Now, Pedro Flores, or Piedro Flores, was actually the first person to introduce the name yo-yo into the United States. He made yo-yos in the early 20s, sold his trademark to Duncan, demonstrated for Duncan for several years, kind of fell out of the picture, and then came back in the 50s with his own brand. This is one of those models. So it's a reasonable price for a Flores. Everybody needs a Flores. If you can get one for under $100, I think this is good. It's a good solid stamp on this yo-yo. Certainly something to consider if you're a collector that doesn't have a Flores in his collection.
Number 1, hot pick of the week.
All right, this baby is a gold yo-yo, or at least that's what they say. I can't necessarily attest to it myself, but I do have one in my collection, and I believe that is accurate. They say it's 14 karat gold. It's got a starting bid of $495, which is pretty steep, but it's a French yo-yo from, they say 1900, it's probably 1930s from the big French yo-yo craze. Now, gold right now is $1,700 a troy ounce, which would mean if their weight is accurate on this thing, that the gold in this yo-yo would be worth $586, which makes me a little bit suspect that they would be having an asking price lower than the value of the gold. Now, I would certainly hate to see somebody buy this to melt this yo-yo down for its gold content. But the reason this is my number 1 pick this week is this yo-yo may be worth its weight in gold. So anyway, now we're going to go to a new little entry. It's what I call Scorching Score of the Week. This is an auction that has already passed me by. I didn't notice it, and I go, wow, I'm kind of envious. I would have liked to have that yo-yo. So let's go into the Scorching Score of the Week. This auction happened back in February. This is a double doozer. It was made in Canada in the 60s. It sold for $41, which I think was a really good price because usually double doozers sell generally in the $60 price range. This one comes with the nose cone and no nasty comments about the cone. I've heard them all. But the interesting thing about this particular yo-yo is it has its string pack and cone pack with it. And this is sweet. I have not seen this before. So I want to just let everybody know, if you happen to have an extra double doozer nose cone and string pack that you got for trade, let me know. Okay, so we are now getting ready for our, Nasty Dog of the Day. How could I forget? I'm sorry. This is where we get dark and deep in the yo-yo show. We are going to look at the auction, which I think is one of the worst auctions on eBay. So let's run the Nasty Dog of the Day.
Nasty Dog of the Day.
Oh, take a look at this baby. This one is advertised for $39.99. That's almost $40, and you can pick up this baby. It is a KO Captain's Wheel 10 whistling yo-yo, I think. Now, these yo-yos, usually in good condition, will sell anywhere from $60 to $100+. The record for this yo-yo, and this goes back to 2000, is $499, but I don't think it'd be anywhere close with this one. Now, what I think makes this so much of a dog of the week is the seller says, and I quote, "Looks are deceiving, in good condition." Now, I think what we have here is a failure to communicate the definition of the word good. This yo-yo looks like it should be in the ICU on a ventilator. Now, I don't go in to visit, if you go in to visit your great aunt in the ICU and you say to her, "Aunt Mabel, you look good." But when you go out in the hallway and you speak to the doc, you say, "When do we call the priest?" So the only good news about this auction is it's free shipping. All right, now what you've all been waiting for. We are getting ready to get into our pop quiz. As I will remind you, we have a prize package here of $448 going out to the winner of the pop quiz. You will have two questions. The first question and the second question must both be answered in the same comment box to win. The first person to get both questions right in the comment section will take home the $448 prize package. So I guess there's nothing more to say. I wish you all great luck, and we'll get going with the pop quiz of the week.
So this is actually after the show. I'm recording this because we had a technical difficulty right when we were doing the pop quiz, and I want to congratulate Joe Mitchell for winning the grand prize. He got the two questions right. The answers were headshot and 1929. That was a Duncan Oh Boy yo-yo, but it doesn't have the name Duncan on it yet because it was their first yo-yo they ever made. So strong work to Joe Mitchell for getting that right. You'll get your prize package very soon. We had a glitch in the sound, as I said. It was a little piece of lint that got in one of the LXR cables, which is karma because I was making jokes about naval lint collectors early in the show. So the guy there with the little naval lint voodoo doll that's sticking its pin in, you can stop because I'm not going to make any more naval lint hair jokes on the show ever, I promise. Now, I would like to say next week is going to be a really great show, but because we're having trouble with our Newcaster broadcasting system and we're going to have to send it into the shop, it's probably going to be on the iPhone. So it will be just a very substandard show. We'll call it our fake show because next week we're going to talk about fakes, forgeries, fantasy pieces, and reproductions. We'll still have a show. It's just not going to be as grand a scale as what we've had in the past, and we unfortunately won't be having our pop quiz because we just can't do it with the regular iPhone. So I hope you'll still tune in. Make comments next week. As soon as we get back up and running, we'll get back with all our special features. What, Sean? Hey, can you just not leave me alone? You're Joe's problem now.